All right, America, we're bigger than Jackson, Mississippi now. It is time to talk about some things. I haven't been on here to talk crazy with y'all in a week. Took a few days off, took the week off, tried to let the chaos of the election kind of calm down, see how it all shook out. I've made my mind up that we are on our way to hell in a handbasket. Thank y'all, everybody tuning in tonight. If you are receiving this transmission, my friends, you are the resistance. So tune in. If you got anything you want to talk about, hit us up in the comments. Hello to everybody. Thank y'all. I have Crystal to my left here. She's right off camera. She's going to be assisting us tonight. If y'all can hear us good, give me a thumbs up. Let me get this shared real quick. Tonight we are going to be talking about the obvious stuff. Jacktown murders. They were celebrating the Biden win, allegedly, a little too much. Killed another 2 folks over the weekend. 5 got shot. We're going to talk about the presidential election, the fallout, homeless people getting dropped off from Ridgeland, and all sorts of other stuff. And we're going to talk about, what's her name? Ocasio-Cortez? Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Mm-hmm. Her Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Apparently, if you're a Trump voter, you're going on the list. You've made the list. And they're going to try to blackball us and make sure we can never work again, open a bank account, have the internet, be on social media, anything. And of course that blew up in her face, and she got on Instagram of all things and cried about it. People just want to be mean to me. I'm almost here. I just got to hit the save button. We had some internet issues. We were actually going to come on around 7:30, but the internet kind of croaked out on us, and I didn't want to use.
It was my fault.
Looking for some thumbtacks and knock the internet off. Almost there, man. Y'all bear with me. Here we go.
Are we going to talk about the schools too?
Yeah, we're going to talk about everything. You know, also, it looks like Brandon in particular, I don't want to speak for the rest of Rankin County schools, man, they are inching closer and closer to more shutdowns. It looks like, what am I trying to say here? All right, there's that last share button. Had to get that out of the way. All right, we're good to go. Look, let's start off real quick. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll finish thinking about the schools.
Okay.
Brandon has sent home almost all of its 7th graders, my understanding.
A good many 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and the whole band has been sent home?
From the high school.
From the high school, is what we're hearing. So, I guess if you have kids in Brandon, you are very aware of these things. So this is no surprise to you, but it does say a lot about what they're doing in Rankin County as far as this quarantine and COVID goes. But I thought COVID ended over the weekend. If you saw all of the anti-Trump, I won't call them Joe Biden celebrations, because you didn't see a single person wearing a Joe Biden shirt, hat, Kamala Harris hat. All you saw was a bunch of rainbow flags and upside down American flags and all, anything but Joe Biden stuff. Mm-hmm. Even Hillary Clinton, that old potato head, people were buying her stuff. So, people were just like they were at a music festival, passing around bottles of champagne, drinking it, which I'm all about. I have no problem with any of this stuff. I co-sign on all of it. I have a problem with you doing that while at the same time telling us that we had to have our elections do mail-in because of COVID. And did you see, Clay Travis talked about this earlier, did you see where Notre Dame ran out on the field to celebrate beating Clemson Saturday night?
Yes.
Of course, the woke Corona bros had to run out and complain, like, oh my God, it's COVID, everybody's going to die. Sorry, y'all, I'm a little animated right now. I got a lot pent up, and we're about to get into it. Real quick, we're here at the USA Pawn Studios, right here at the palatial South Jackson, Save Jackson compound. It's got a new name every night. Y'all be sure to check out USA Pawn. 6 metro area locations. McDowell Road Megastore, the largest pawn shop in Mississippi. Pearl, right there, right out the Pearl exit. What's the name of that road? Pearson.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis Avenue and Woodrow Wilson in Jackson. Peace Street in Canton. And Warrenton Road in Vicksburg. We're starting a new special here on the site where we share an item every day off their website that's available at one of their metro area stores. Today it's a GoPro Hero 7 and it's only $179.95. I just paid $400 almost for my little version of a GoPro. And for half the price, I would have done away with one or two of the little features that I paid $200 extra for. So check them out online, usapawn.com. They've got a 10-10-10 special. It's 10. I don't remember the details off the top of my head. So I'm going to share it later because I don't want to misquote here. But you can also lay away.
Mm-hmm.
And you can lay away guns and jewelry. On the guns...
Christmas is coming up.
Yep, Christmas is coming up. So on the guns, it's a traditional 90-day layaway with 20% down. But they do have some other stuff available with 10% down and longer-term layaways on higher priced jewelry and whatnot. So we're going to get you all up to date on that, let you know what's going on before the end of the show. The Gym at Byram.com, the Gym at Byram, located obviously in Byram on the Byram Parkway there. Massive facility, indoor pools, tennis courts, indoor basketball. No, I'm sorry, not indoor pool. Indoor basketball, swimming pool, tennis courts, female workout facility, 24/7 access, tanning beds, hammer strength, professional weightlifting equipment, and a ton of cardio. Again, 24-hour access. They have some of the best personal trainers in the South, one of the nicest gyms in the South. You can check them out online at thegymatbyram.com or give them a call today at 372-2229. That is 601-372-2229, the Gym at Byram. And last, and certainly not least, Father and Son Southern Lawn Care. Check out Danny White and the team. They do have a website, fatherandsonlawnservice.org. That is fatherandsonlawnservice.org, or give them a call at 601-301-3210. That is Danny White at Father and Son Southern Lawn Care. All right, let's jump into it. 113 homicides in Jackson. 5 shootings over the weekend, Crystal.
Yep.
5. Do you know how many people that they've caught? How many suspects they have?
I'm going to guess 0.
0. At least the last time I checked the website, it was 0. When I was on WLBT earlier, it could have changed. So that's always good.
Yeah.
Do you know how many? We're going to kind of fly through some of this stuff because we got a lot to go over tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many COVID deaths we are at now in all of Hinds County?
I do not.
182 COVID deaths. 80 of those are in long-term care facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 100 of people, just normal, quote-unquote, people walking the streets, your average Joes.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, Karen, Chad, Christy, just anybody walking the streets.
Mm-hmm.
That is 11 more homicides in Jackson alone than COVID deaths in all of Hinds County, excluding long-term care facilities. It's rough. The mayor and his crew aren't helping any. And look, y'all be sure to hit the share button here. We definitely need to get the message out there. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they are stifling conservative voices. And I have no doubt that with our 25,000 followers that we should have way more than 42 people watching right now.
Something's going on with the internet.
Looks like the internet's up on my phone.
Okay.
So If you want to check the iPad, just double check, but I'm pretty sure we're up. Still says
Okay,
live.
I found it now.
Okay.
Okay.
Crystal thought we were down on the internet. So, look, Ridgeland Police Department drops a homeless lady off in Fondren. Says he picked her up right on their side of the county line, and he asked her where she wanted to go, and she says, well, I want to go to Fondren, and that's where he took her. And apparently, there's video of him dropping. Not apparently, I've watched the video. There's video of him dropping her off there in the one of those shopping centers in Fondren, and that has been an issue. So they said we had a glitch, but it came back on.
Okay.
And that's always been an urban legend for years now in Jackson that police were dropping off criminals from their districts, their jurisdictions into Jackson. Homeless people. I don't mean this word rudely, but crazy people, 5150, mental patients and stuff, just dropping them off in Jackson. I'd seen it with my own eyes, but never a police car doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got a police car doing it, and they caught them on camera. The mayor's all in a fuss about it. But that's really what I want to talk about. We know it's not wrong, and we know it's wrong. We know they shouldn't be doing it. I don't think that's a real argument there. You need to figure out what to do with your homeless people. Don't mentally or whatever. Don't randomly pick people up and take them somewhere else just to get them out of your way. That's wrong too. So the mayor a couple weeks ago, when David Archie and Magnolia Slim and them were out running around harassing homeless folks, the mayor came out and said that he wanted to get the panhandling laws completely off the books, abolish them.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't be messed with at all. Well, if that's the case, then why would you care if this homeless lady was down in Fondren? Furthermore, people of Fondren are also, in my experience, the quickest ones to judge you. And anytime you say anything about homeless people or panhandling, I wish we could figure out something to do about this. They're like, love trumps hate. Love trumps hate. Just what if it was you? What if it was your family? And touche, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the hard truth. They should be the most caring and understanding. They should open up their homes and let these people in. Don't complain. Don't complain about them now that they're at your door. So I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm just curious what y'all think about that. I think we can all agree that Ridgeland doesn't need to be dropping homeless folks off in Fondren.
Yeah.
That seems like an inappropriate use of police vehicles and city-owned property.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of better things cops have to do. Y'all bear with me a second. I'm getting my life together here. When you miss doing a show for a week, it kind of knocks you out your rhythm. And I got this microphone all on my face now. Got to get used to that too. So I don't know. The stuff with Ridgeland, it just seems a little fishy. But also, the mayor complaining about it seems very hypocritical. Hell, he should open up his home if he's got such a problem with it. All right, man. I'm Jxn'd out. That's why I said this is America Uncensored tonight. Let's jump into it. I know we've all got some pent-up frustration about the election, and I could probably say that for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found it really funny that the left has been very quick to tell us all we just need to get over it. Get over it. He lost. Don't be a sore loser. Hillary Clinton still hadn't conceded 2016, has she? Y'all fought and scratched and clawed for 4 years screaming and screeching about Russia and
Mm-hmm.
the Steele dossier and Trump peeing on hookers and all kind of stuff. Anything you could. Impeachment, Russia, Chechnya, whatever. Ukraine, not Chechnya, Ukraine. So here we are. As everything has come full circle and we realize that it was actually Joe Biden and his posse that was doing everything that they said it was Trump. Now they say we need to just let it go. If you weren't cheating, just let us count everything. Let us verify the votes, certify everything. And if Trump lost, we'll roll on. We'll be miserable, but we'll roll on. But you can't have 72 million Americans feel like they've been lied to and cheated when they clearly have.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Biden won heads up, they still cheated. I made an analogy talking to Crystal last night. Say you're in college or high school, and you take a test.
Mm-hmm.
A D will suffice. You still pass. But an A would bring your average way up, and it would help you more.
Right.
If you get caught cheating, it's a 0. You're disqualified. It doesn't matter if you were going to pass or not. Cheating gets you disqualified. Why does that not happen in politics? It's obvious they were cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the widespread fraud may be exaggerated, which I don't believe it is, and I think it's all going to sort itself out here in court, even if it has to go all the way to the Supreme Court or the 12th Amendment being executed. It will sort itself out. But I think it's a fair question to ask. Why would you cheat if you were already going to win? If you believed the polling, if you believed all that, and who's going to be punished when it's obvious what was going on? There's video everywhere of pollsters, poll workers filling out, or counters, whatever their technical title is.
The ballots?
Filling out ballots.
Yeah.
And just running down, not even going down card anymore, down ballot. Just hitting Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. Does it not seem a little bit strange to anybody that there wasn't so far, not a single mistake that went Trump's way? A single extra vote, a single late mail-in ballot of 70 million votes.
A single person that's been dead for
Not a single dead person voting for Trump or anything. That doesn't seem just a little. Take your party affiliation and your personal feelings out of it. You have to say that, okay, maybe there was some cheating by some overzealous people.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't believe that we kept the Senate and gained seats in the House, but Trump lost.
Right.
How does that happen?
I know.
Possibly could it be an indictment against far one way or the other extreme politics on both sides? With them losing seats in the House, House and Senate, and us losing the president and whatever. Could it be that people are tired of toxic stuff? So.
And what is there's 2 seats that are available that's a really big deal. You know what I'm talking about?
So one in Georgia, and there's one somewhere else.
Yeah. I don't think they're voted on though till January.
I'm not sure. I didn't know exactly what you were talking about before I spoke on it. So I'm sitting here looking. The up to the minute voting has got Trump with 71,350,307 votes and 214 electorals. No sooner than I said that, it flipped on me here. Biden's got 76,326,728 votes, like 290 something.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 290 electoral votes? But if you look at all the potential fraud, and just the votes that could get thrown out for being counted wrong or not certified right. Here's on the Gateway Pundit. This was last night about 8 o'clock. 132,000 ballots in Fulton County, Georgia have been identified which are likely ineligible. Well, that could damn near flip Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, this is all the media calling this. Let's say so Biden only leads Georgia by 10,000 votes.
Right.
If you have 132,000 change of address red flags in Fulton County, they're ineligible. Suffice to say, in Fulton County, that is Atlanta, that is a highly, highly Democratic Democrat liberal area.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Democrat African Americans in that area. You take 132,000 out, ain't gonna hurt Trump. That flips Georgia.
Right.
And that's just Fulton County. That's a really interesting read here. I'm going to drop this link in the comments here. A lot of the stories I'm doing tonight are from the Gateway Pundit. There's plenty of others. I've seen them other places. I just like the way they write. So if you don't like the Gateway Pundit, you can find these on Breitbart and Fox News or CNN or wherever. And Mitch, speaking of Fox News, screw them. So I'm going to read down here real quick. No, that was really it. That was the story. That was the tweet. Tweet from Kyle Becker. 132,000, change of address, red flags in Fulton County. These votes are highly likely ineligible to vote and have moved, per source. Biden leads Georgia by 10K as of last update. It's enough to be a game changer. That's big time. All right. Here's another story from the Gateway Pundit titled, "What a Mess. System Glitches Favoring Democrats Are Becoming an Epidemic Across Swing States. More incidents identified today." This was at 5 p.m. today. Right as I was getting ready to leave work, I ran across this story. So I'm going to read it to y'all real quick. It just says, "We've reported on numerous events identified in the 2020 election already where votes were switched from Republican to Democrats and totals were reduced. Today we have several more examples. We reported first on a systems glitch, as it was labeled, in Michigan, which when fixed allowed Republicans to win his race." Yep, that was a story there where there was a dude who lost the election. It wasn't in a local election. Mm-hmm. Wasn't even going to protest it or ask for a recount, just took his L. Mm-hmm. Well, they came back and said, well, there was a glitch, and you actually won by 1,000 votes. And you know, in a small town local election, 1,000 votes, that is a big swing. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't even know what he was losing by, but at minimum he gained well over 1,000 votes.
Right.
And was cool with taking his loss. Let's see, another computer glitch identified, corrected in Oakland County, Michigan, led to Republican winning his race. Then in Pennsylvania, 40,000 votes swing to Biden from Trump. I mean, there's a ton of these incidences listed here. I'm going to share this story with y'all in the comments. I'm not going to waste your time reading down every one of them.
Dad said it's 2 Senate seats in Georgia.
Dexter, I know you're saying that the governor, lieutenant governor, and secretary of state are all Republicans, but that's not where the problem is. The problem is in these Democrat stronghold counties. The counties have too much control. But they're about to find out. F around and find out. I mean, these issues are factual. I mean, they're happening. The Republicans aren't making up 132,000 votes that weren't supposed to be voted. They don't want them. You know what I mean? So it creates a bad problem for Georgia. Because then you got Georgia, and I absolutely believe we're going to win Arizona, and that Pennsylvania is still going to flip our way. Once the recounts are done, mm-hmm. When Trump concedes, I'll concede. Mm-hmm. But I haven't believed anything the media. Y'all want me to believe the media now? After the last 5 years of screeching, screaming, and crying everything that was untrue they possibly could. Now y'all want me to now y'all believe the media? Trump's legal team was going to do a press conference at 11:30 Saturday. At 11:28, the AP dropped. You know, so they were calling the race for Biden. Mm-hmm. And everybody else followed suit because they didn't want to be left behind.
Yeah.
They did that to break your souls and your spirits and to win the PR race. There's going to be potentially going to be a lot of boo-boo faces here sometime in the next 72 days. Like I said, it's 72 days of hell. It was 79 from Election Day.
Didn't there have to be a decision by December 14th?
It's when the electorates are supposed to be in by the 14th. But if it's tied up in court, I mean, that's when they're supposed to certify them by the states. But if there's legal proceedings, it can drag on. I mean, the states can certify it all they want. But if the Supreme Court or
I
a
just
lower
heard
court...
there has to be a decision by the 14th, which is our wedding anniversary.
I know.
I wasn't sure if you knew.
That's our wedding anniversary, December 14th, when the electorals are supposed to be certified. So...
It better go well.
Here's another. Well, I get this flag's a little hot here, but I want to get this out of the way. No more bullshit. You said that over there.
Mm-hmm.
No more BS. That's all we asking for.
Yep.
No more BS. Count the votes. The ones that were in on time. Quit counting the ones that weren't. Right? Is that too much to ask? I mean, I'm just asking the people who have not yet conceded 2016, to give it a few days, let everything get sorted out. If you're not cheating, if there ain't no improprieties, quit fighting the request. And let's see how it all shakes out. I mean, this is the problem. We have a generation of people raised on non-binary, Teletubbies, and participation awards that don't understand you fight to the very end. I would think with as many sports fans as we have that y'all would understand. As Atlanta Falcons fans in particular. You got to fight to the end. You don't... You've lost the Super Bowl like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks in Georgia, we appreciate you getting out and partaking in the process, but we gotta see this through. We gotta get the right numbers and see what happens. But you would think people would understand that just because the media says something does not make it true. How many times do they have to be wrong?
Just because anybody says anything doesn't make it true.
Jake Tapper from CNN got on there today and said that Trump supporters who don't just let it go should be very concerned about interviewing for potential jobs in the future. AOC is out there talking about a Truth and Reconciliation Commission and death camps. I'm kidding about death camps. But camps to send us all to re-educate us, education camps, into the way of the far left liberal. It's like Democrats. I made a note here. I made it funny. It's like Democrats like Jake Tapper must be jacked up on AIDS, Ritalin, and hormone blockers, talking about Trump supporters need to be concerned about being employable in the future. I believe that math for some of these folks is just a microaggression. Like, so many mathematical anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they keep calling it, an anomaly. It's called cheating. It's cheating. Look, here's another story about voter fraud. I want to run down here. I don't want y'all to think I'm just shooting from the hip here. In case you turned the TV off Saturday after you got the message about Biden, and you've just been enjoying it, running around, parading around, hanging out at clubs without a face mask on while telling everybody else to wear theirs. Poll watchers in Wayne County, this is in Michigan. Let me hit the headline again. Lawsuit alleges Detroit officials knowingly committed mass voter fraud. Knowingly. Poll watchers in Wayne County have filed a lawsuit against the city of Detroit and several election officials alleging widespread voter fraud has been taking place in and around Detroit election offices. Filed via the Great Lakes Justice Center for plaintiffs Cheryl Constantino and Edward McCall, the suit claims the election officials assigned random ballots to people who had not voted yet, accepted ballots after the deadline, failed to verify signatures, and identification of voters. Thousands of unsealed and unsecured ballots arrived and were all marked for Biden. Officials instructed people to vote for Democrats. Challenges to ballots were not recorded, and poll watchers were eventually kicked out. Does any of that sound fair and balanced?
No.
I mean, that's what we're saying here, guys. If Trump lost fair and square, take my L. Big old L right here. I'll wear it. You know, I talk a lot of smack. I'm still talking smack. And I'm going to continue talking smack. And spreading my opinions. Might not be my facts all the time, but they're my opinions. We try to be factual. Let's see here. These allegations are backed up by sworn affidavits from multiple individuals who witnessed this rampant disregard for the laws and standards. There's a pretty big breakdown of this as well. I'm going to share this article. And that's all I'm doing here, man. I'm going to have my fun. I'm going to be a little condescending. But at the end of the day, I'm going to share the information I got. You can read it. You can make up your mind. Or at least it gives you both sides of the argument. If you're a Biden supporter and you don't want to hear this, at least see where Trump supporters are coming from.
Right.
I mean, I think that's fair. You know, and if you've got something that contradicts any of this, send it to me, and I would love to read it. I don't like speaking from just one side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to the next story here. This stuff's good. I'm telling you, I've got some more stuff. It says, breaking news. This was at 5:16 p.m. today. Trump campaign files lawsuit in Pennsylvania alleging creation and implementation of illegal two-tiered voting system for election. I don't know exactly what that means, but that sounds shady, and I'm sure Hillary Clinton had something to do with it. I'm sure Hillary's emails are involved in this somehow. President Trump's campaign on Monday evening filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania alleging creation and implementation of illegal two-tiered voting system for the election. Voters in Pennsylvania were held to different standards simply based on how they chose to cast their ballots. And we believe the two-tiered election system resulted in potentially fraudulent votes being counted without proper verification or oversight, Matt Morgan, Trump's general counsel, says. The Trump campaign is seeking an emergency injunction to stop Pennsylvania officials from certifying Joe Biden's victory. Trump's general counsel explained Pennsylvania's illegal two-tiered voting system during a press conference. All right, I'm not going to air all that. Again, y'all can check out the story yourselves. I just shared it in the comments here. It's got a link to the video. Just go into it with an open mind. See what you see. At least, again, you'll understand why we see it like we do. Okay, here's another good one here. Now, this is more of a poke at Biden and them, but it's a good one. Trump administration refuses to play pretend with coup plotters, denies funding for Biden transition team. Hey, just say hello to my buddy here, Archie. Archie, brother, it was good to meet you today too, man. Sitting at work today, and a guy said, "Hey, man, you look familiar." I'm like, "Oh, no, this guy is a big dude, man. I hope you don't want to whoop my ass." And he's like, "You do the videos online, all that hell raising." I said, "Yes, sir." And made a new friend. Archie's a truck driver. Sold his daughter a car today. So, Archie, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hope your daughter enjoys her car. All right, let's see. Trump administration refused to play dress up for the Biden-Kamala campaign. The GSA will not be funding a Biden transition team in the near future until all the legal ballots are counted. Sorry, kids. And that is the whole story there. That's funny, though. I can get with that. Why waste the money on a transition team when there's not going to be a transition once all the votes are properly counted? Here was something else. And I'm going to get to y'all's comments. Y'all keep your comments coming. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here for all of it. So, I'm pretty sure that we have officially broken Fox News, haven't we? When Roger Ailes died, and that's who kind of founded Fox News with Rupert Murdoch, he was a bad guy. Make no excuses. Roger Ailes was not a good person from all accounts. He was a womanizer. I don't know if rapist is the word. Somebody willingly does something, but he put women in very bad positions to sleep, to trade promotions for sexual favors or hold that stuff over their head for sexual favors and whatnot. But he did build an empire with Fox News for right-leaning and conservative people and knew what folks wanted, knew what was missing. So from a business standpoint, he was an extremely intelligent guy. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, men like attractive women, put a lot of attractive women on TV. And then 9/11 happened, and they were kind of there. I think it was 9/11 was the moment I discovered Fox News. And I think you can pretty much say that Trump would not have been elected without Fox News the first go-round. And them jumping off the Trump train the last go-round over the last year definitely hurt Trump. Win, lose, or draw on this election, Fox News getting out of the Trump business hurt Trump. And now I believe it's going to hurt Fox News, because I think what a lot of people don't understand is Trump supporters have caught just as much or more hell than the president. Folks have been trying to cancel us, attack us in public. If they see us if I was to wear that flag like that, I'd have to fight over it, especially in Jackson. There's a guy that lives in my neighborhood that followed me on Instagram, told me that him and his people, black dude, just be straight up about this, told me that him and his people didn't allow for folks to live and work in Jackson that supported Trump, and just kept insinuating the racist thing, the myth, the racist mythos of Trump and his supporters. And I told him to kiss my ass, and that was into that, and never heard nothing else about it. But it was just a mindset. Like, who tells somebody that? How that crap crazy do you have to be to tell somebody that? And just, like, I'm going to say to myself, oh, you know what? You're right, man. My bad. Go Biden. Anyway. So, no, I'm out on that. But anyway, so Trump supporters have been put through hell. There's 70 million of us that voted. Real votes. There's allegedly 75 million Biden voters. And then, you figure in New York and California, I would say we're probably neck and neck. But somehow we get treated like this weird third-tier group of extremists for being pro-American. We don't care about color. We care about our borders, our guns, our Bibles, our friends, our families, pro-life, simple things, jobs, how much money's coming out of our check, or let me rephrase that, how much of our check we get every month. What is wrong about any of that stuff? I need to understand, what is wrong or racist about any of that stuff? You can't name anything, because nothing's wrong with any of that. That is just American values, the nuclear family. None of us are perfect. None of us are or the Leave It to Beaver family. That's not real life. We all have our problems. We all have our vices. We all put up things and try to make things look better than they are. And we're all a lot more alike than the media would ever have you believe, because if they keep us separated and they keep us thinking that everything's about race, that if they keep, and I'm going to speak from a white guy's perspective here, if they keep telling people that black people are bad and dangerous and they're going to hurt you if you get anywhere near them, well, of course that's going to create a fear in white people. If they keep telling black people, Oh, the white supremacists. Oh, they're going to get you. There's a Ku Klux Klansman hiding everywhere. Well, then you're probably going to believe that. And on the flip side, neither one of those are correct. Overall, there's bad people on both sides. You know, Trump made the mistake of saying there's good people on both sides and it got taken out of context. I'm going to tell you there's bad people on both sides. And you can take whatever context you want out of that. So, just keep it in mind. I mean, yeah, I know I said my opening monologue was about Jxn and, you know, wearing a gun vest and all that, but that's about Jxn. Jxn is very, very bad. 25 years of liberal leadership. And I'm afraid that is now hitting our way with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the office. I'm going to bring up one other thing here. Joe Biden's, I got it saved here. Joe Biden has released today the 4 executive orders he's going to sign on day 1 in office. And none of this helps America. None of it. And I want y'all to tell me what was racist about any of this stuff. The executive actions would include rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement, say hello to $5 gas. If somebody asked me where do I get that information from last time I said it, I said the last time they were in office. And we were in the Paris Climate Agreement. He's also going to reinstate the DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. Long story short, you show up to America with a kid, you're all citizens now. You have to get the kids out of the cages that Obama and Biden built. Rejoin the World Health Organization. Yep, that's going so well for the rest of the world. And repeal Trump's travel ban targeting majority Muslim nations. Now look, say what you want. Guess what there hasn't been the entire time Trump has been in office? A Muslim terrorist attack on America. So, you don't have to like those facts, but they're just that, they're facts. There has been no Muslim terrorist attack. The Paris Climate Control Treaty will have gas at $5 a gallon. DACA is a disaster, and you should not be able to kidnap a baby in Mexico and drag them into America and become a citizen. And last but not least, rejoining the World Health Organization. I could just about, and most of y'all could just about run the World Health Organization better than the idiot that runs the World Health Organization. He's a doctor. There's not a doctor that calls himself a doctor. Dr. Dre is more of a doctor than this guy. At least he makes beats. Let's see here, man. I just want to run through a couple of my notes. I'm a little all over the place. Let's see. Here's the other thing. From the left. You guys, I've been seeing it all over the internet. I've seen Joe Biden say it. All right, we got to quit fighting. It's time to unify. We got to unite. We got to put all this behind us and come together. No, we don't. What are we unifying over? Because y'all think you won? We've been trying to tell you they need to shut up and unify for the last 5 years. You weren't hearing it. And then they can't hide their hate for the right. Because no sooner than Joe Biden and half the people are saying we need to unite, she gets on there and talks about we got to make sure that we're keeping record of all the tweets and everything Trump supporters have done so we can get them re-educated and keep a list. And there's already a website so you can geo-fence and pull up GPS of where any Trump supporter who donated to Trump lives. I'm on there. I checked.
Somebody's saying don't forget about the mask mandate.
Oh yeah, the other thing, the mask. I actually wrote that down and skipped over it. I mean, they're coming for Trump supporters. They've made it clear. Trump told y'all. He said the attacks aren't. Trump is the face of the movement, but he ain't the movement. he was the leader, whatever you want to call it, the face of the movement. The attack has always been on us. They hate us.
Mm-hmm. Conservative Americans are the whole kink in the armor of the whole New World Order takeover, globalism, and all that. These are facts. This ain't myth, this ain't urban legends, none of that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy theory. None of it. We're the holdup. So when we fight, fuss, and argue, we're who they're attacking. They don't like alphas. They manipulated one whole race into thinking everybody's out to get them, and if they don't vote Democrat, they're all going to die. I mean, it's crazy. I hate every 4 years, but this has been the worst window of 4 years I've ever seen in my life for race relations and right versus left and all that. I mean, the tolerant left is so good. Have you seen that video in Portland? And maybe Portland is just a blip on the radar, but I don't believe so. I think it's everything starts on the left and moves its way across the country.
Mm-hmm.
They were out protesting on election night for whatever reason. And they got to a guy's house that had a Biden flag out front. They're all ready to burn his house. They're like, hold on, there's my Biden flag. Y'all don't tear nothing up. Because I voted for Biden. They're like, that's your white privilege talking. We're going to burn this mother down. Like, they're all white.
It's too much.
I mean, can somebody please tell me, when did white liberals decide that that they get to tell you that black is not a color no more, that it's just a state of mind?
It's because their skinny jeans are cutting off the blood to their brain.
I guess so. The skinny jeans cutting off the blood to their brain. It's just meth, man. Jacked up on meth and AIDS and just running through. Hi, let me jump into y'all's comments here. Now, I've seen a couple other people post this about real clear politics withdrawing Joe Biden's electoral status, stripping him of Pennsylvania. I got to confirm that because I have not. I've seen that meme floating around, but I have not seen that from a legitimate source. I just thought it was somebody pretending to be real clear politics.
Oh. Remember, Puckett schools are closed down?
No.
Hmm?
Are you telling me?
Well, yeah. For Rankin County, Puckett schools are closed down.
Okay. Puckett schools are closed down, Crystal was saying.
And apparently, there was a party for Halloween after they were shut down, and there were like 400 kids there.
Started over, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying Puckett schools are closed down.
Tom. It's easier for you to say.
Okay. Puckett schools are closed down for COVID. And from a bunch of little teenagers that have told me, there was a big Halloween party, and they said it was over 400 people there, and it was after it was shut down. I know Brandon Junior High, it looks like it could be on its way to doing the same thing. And the high school at Brandon, I know they've had some breakouts in the band and different things like that. So
yep. I'm kind of COVIDed out.
Well, you can be COVID out.
I'm COVIDed.
It still affects everybody.
I know, but my point is, they just need to let it ride, and we really need to move on into the group herd immunity part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got it pulled up here. Actually, Pfizer, they waited to the week after the election because they do not want Donald Trump in office. Y'all to keep this in mind. This is another thing. Donald Trump has been at war with these big pharma and what we're having to pay for medication and transparency at hospital billing. But half of these potatoes that voted for Biden are on some kind of Medicare anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're fixing to be able to start getting a lot of our medication cheaper.
transparency on hospital billing. So anyway, so I say all that. Trump said a few months ago that before the election, there would be an announcement on a vaccine. Well, of course, Pfizer waits till 1 week after the election and announces that reports 90% success rate on vaccine trials. This is from a story on the Jxn Jambalaya. It says, I am happy to share with you Pfizer and our collaborator BioNTech announced positive efficiency results on phase 3 late stage study of our potential COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine candidates was found to be more than 90% effective in preventing COVID-19 in participants without evidence of prior SARS-CoV-2 infection in the first interim efficiency analysis. Okay, guys, I'm not going to lie. I can't read stuff like this very well. Biological type stuff. Long story short, they're saying that we should have a vaccine very soon. Let me see if they got an estimated time. I saw it the other day, and I can't remember if it was a couple weeks or a couple months. But look, no coincidence that they waited to the week after the election.
They want Biden to be the hero.
They want Biden to be the hero. They want Kamala. They really want Kamala to be the hero.
Whoever. Anybody but Trump.
Yep. So, let me ask y'all, will you take a vaccine? It's a hard no for me, dog. As Randy Jackson on American Idol would say, it's going to be a hard no for me, dog. No. I'm out. But you know, that's what they're going to do. So Biden's saying that they're going to instill a nationwide mask mandate, and he's going to work with governors, and if governors won't work with him, he's going to work with mayors. So we know Chockway's going to screw us. Chockway's going to be like, oh, yes, sir, Mr. Biden. What can we do? What can we do, boss? You know, as soon as Fox News sent that tweet out last night about Biden saying the nationwide mask mandate, I tweeted Tate Reeves. I'm like, you think that flag fiasco had people ready to run you out of town with the pitchforks?
Mm-hmm.
You jump in on this and see what happens around here. I'm not saying it's a threat, by no means. I'm not that dumb. I wouldn't threaten the governor. But I would hate to be Tate Reeves. Because there's somebody sitting back somewhere that's had enough.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost their job, lost their house, lost their car, lost their wife, husband, kid, whatever. That has had enough. They ain't got. What's the worst person in the world to mess with, Crystal?
Somebody that has nothing to lose.
That's it. Somebody that has nothing to lose. I'm telling you, these politicians, and this isn't about Tate Reeves, this is just in general. These politicians are about to F around and find out that there's some people out there that have nothing left to lose in their minds. And there's going to be a reckoning at some point if they keep screwing with people's lives and livelihoods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be just enough for something like a mask mandate. People, or Biden saying another lockdown. He's going to listen to the scientists. Well, the scientists, of course, are going to say, lock it down. You cannot let the medical and scientific field dictate economic policy. You can't do it. That'd be like letting, and I love archaeology.
Well, not all of the medical community says what they're saying.
No, I'm with you. I don't know. Like, I love archaeology, but I wouldn't let an archaeologist be in charge of permits and zoning for the city. Because you know what they're going to do? Build nowhere. Everything's historic. Mm-hmm. We're not building anything anywhere. And just a little example there. But, yeah, so Crystal says that, you know, not everybody in the medical field is batshit crazy, and she's right. Just the ones that wear white coats and UMC that go bow down, and Dr. Dobbs and his whole posse.
They only pick the people that fit the narrative.
Yeah. Crystal says they only pick the people that fit the narrative to put in front of the camera or to speak for everybody, and she's correct. They do.
They don't all feel that way.
No. But they would have you think they do. The new update lets it ring while you're on. I know, it looks
nice.
kind of funny. we updated our iPhones, and you can be in the app now and not leave the app when you get a phone call. Crystal was looking at her phone like, what's it doing?
I didn't know what was going on.
But you don't want science and medicine dictating economic policy, because they won't doom and gloom. There's a doctor around here who I won't name. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. This dude runs around and fearmongers about COVID. But the numbers just don't back it up. I saw a thing today. It said 10 million U.S. cases of COVID. And 9 million plus recoveries.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the total number of deaths are, but we never talk about the recovery. It's always just whatever the biggest number is. It don't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. Well, look, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. I know the feed acted up a little bit earlier. I got a couple texts from people. We're having some internet issues. It seems to have worked itself out. Moving forward, the show is probably going to lean very heavy on the national side of things while we work through the presidency and get things situated. And of course, we're still going to talk Jackson. I mean, by no means are we not. But I don't want people to get in their feelings when we start talking about national stuff. We'll lead the show with Jackson stuff. So if you're only here for the Jackson stuff, you can tune out. And if you want to stay tuned for the national politics and whatnot, it is something I want to start focusing on, because at the end of the day, there's only so much a white conservative dude can say about Jackson. I'm running out of bad news to report. I would like to report other things.
Do you report the gas line or gas break?
I did. Well, I didn't do it on here. There apparently was a gas break today. One of my sources at the fire department, there was a natural gas line bust in South Jackson over around Oak Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course, we'll keep the website and stuff. I mean, not the website, but the Facebook page updated with all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're never going to quit doing any of that. But with this live feed, we're definitely going to start talking more national news and national politics. I think it's a good time. Yeah, Steven, the mic picture up good when she's loud. We're going to get the mic situation worked out here. If I had done a little bit more research and known that you really can't use two USB mics at one time, I would have bought a little phaser, interface with two XLR mics. Easy breezy, problem solved. But I committed $200 and something, almost $300 to this setup. So I'm gonna have to just ride this out for a minute. But we are gonna get the microphone set up, situated here. But I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. I mean, kind of scared about spending any money. It's getting close to Christmas. They're talking about another lockdown. What do you do? I mean, we got to buy kids presents. I'm getting a little off track here. I just saw a comment about Crystal on a microphone. But, these are things that start giving people anxiety. I mean, I feel like Crystal as well, I feel like we've been here for you guys through this. Y'all been here for us. I mean, we kind of started doing this live feed as a way to talk and have a little fun, and kind of to make sure there were other people out there that were either as crazy as us or as sane as us, depending on what side of the fence you fall on there. And you guys have been very reassuring. It's nice to know you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Save Jackson followers out there, man, thank y'all. Well, I've really enjoyed this. I've watched Crystal start to come into her own and kind of come out of her shell a little bit. She's not a big fan of sitting down talking to the public. So she's done great. And she'd be a ton better if we had a microphone in front of her. It's hard to do this when you have an overbearing personality like mine and no microphone. So we are going to get that situated. We may have to go back to using the other mic.
I'm just your cheerleader.
We may have to go back to using the other mic. It picked us up both a little better, but it just didn't look as cool. It's like I spent $300 on this in the stand. I'm like, damn it, or $270. It was like I just hated to not use it. So we'll get all that situated. Should have an update on more radio stuff coming soon. Dipping my toe further, as far into that water as I can get it, without needing a life vest. And so it should be some more updates there soon. I was on with Kim Wade last Tuesday. Hope to be on with him some more. We got the podcast up. Be sure to follow us on the podcast stuff. Any available media outlet out there. Podcast platforms. Apple, Google, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon. If you have Amazon Music, you can download podcasts on there too. I use Amazon Music, and I stumbled across our podcast the other day. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, I'd also upload them to YouTube. So if you're following us on YouTube, they're there too. I guess I put everything everywhere it'll go, and just kind of roll with it. Let's see here. Hey, Gabe Young talking about mask. Being the only one without mask. So yesterday, I went out to Costco yesterday morning to get some meat, and
of course you did.
Yes. Went out to Costco to get some meat. Man, they got a great meat selection out there for the money. I mean, I know I love to support local when I can, but look, I'm only going to chase around a good deal for so long, and it's on Sundays, so some of the local butchers aren't open on Sundays. Like, I would love to get out to Country Meat Packers and get some stuff from them, but they're not open on Sundays. At least they weren't last time I checked. Anyhow, I digress. I got out there, everybody's got a mask on. You can't go in without one. Well, I didn't want to have to buy 10 pounds of cream cheese for one project. So I was like, well, I'll stop at the little vials and buy them on my way back through. In the meantime, I've reminded myself, or remembered all of the Biden celebrations out in the streets with no mask, passing around champagne bottles and everything else. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot COVID's gone. Biden won. No more COVID. And so I got to the door, I had my mask on, and I walked in. I was like, screw this mask. I took my mask off, put it in my pocket. I swear to God, I was the only person in the entire store without a mask on. Crystal's going to roll her eyes when I say this, but it was like walking around the store with my junk hanging out. Like, everybody's staring at me like, oh my God.
That's what I felt like. Remember when my mask broke?
Oh, yeah.
At Costco?
Yeah, Crystal's mask broke at Costco. She's walking around like she had a tit out.
I did. That's what I felt like.
Just,
everybody was looking at, I was holding on to it.
and that's what they want to do. They want to shame us into thinking that we're wrong for not wearing it. Like, look, man, if masks work so good, yours should work good enough for both of us. It should keep me from getting you sick or you getting me sick. On to the next one. Shit, man. I'm vastly approaching that point in life where I'm like, sweet COVID, take me home. You know? And
Pretty much.
just joking a little bit. I know that we've all got a friend or a family member that has lost somebody to COVID, and
We believe it's real.
yeah, we believe it's real. I also believe that you can't fight natural selection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, none of us are guaranteed.
We believe when it's your time, it's your time.
Let's see, going back through a few comments here, Megan says, Biden may ban most guns. They're so expensive to purchase at this time. Yep, Megan, you know, supposed to, said he was going to make Beto O'Rourke his gun czar. Beto straight up said that he was going to take your AR-15s. I'm glad I read that comment. I'm not quite ready to get off here. If y'all got a few minutes, let me rant about guns for a second. I probably own 7 or 8 guns. I don't even consider myself a gun guy. Hell, I was out at a gun store the other day just kicking the tires. Me and a buddy of mine were out riding around just checking out some places. And he asked me, we were looking at some AR-15s, and he was like, which one does yours take, 308 or 223s? I'm like, 22s? He's like, no, they don't take 22s. And it was a 223, but I was just having a brain fart. But my point being, I don't even consider myself a gun guy. I have guns, I love guns, I shoot guns. But if you ask me, am I a gun guy? I can think of 10 other guys off the top of my head who eat, sleep, breathe, and do nothing but talk about guns that I consider gun guys. So if I'm that way, and I know a dozen other guys off the top of my head, just like me, that own a bunch of guns but probably don't consider themselves gun guys. I think we all kind of go through a phase with guns where it's like I get hot about one and I get it, and then it sits there and it don't do nothing unless you shoot it. I love guns, but unless you're shooting them, they kind of don't do anything. Excuse me, my Captain Obvious statement of the day there. But nothing wrong with that. I mean, you hope to never have to use it, but it is fun to go out and shoot. Anyway, my friend, one of my best friends in the world, is a Democrat. He voted for Joe Biden. We're hanging out on election day because you can be friends with people that don't vote like you. I talk all this crap, and I am mad at a bunch of people that just don't care. But we all have our reasons. But I just can't understand how you can be a gun person and vote for somebody that is straight up telling you we're going to do all we can to take your guns. Now, will they ever be able to do it? I don't think so. I mean, realistically, I don't. Not unless they get the House and the Senate and the presidency, and then they can just run roughshod. You know, thank God. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or whatever. Thank God that we got the Supreme Court. And it is there to protect us, assuming they don't stack it and ruin the, get more than 9 justices. So that's just something saw the point about guns. Somebody said something about McLean Lodge. Let me go back to that. McLean Lodge has best steaks and prices, open on Sundays. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I always forget about McLean. It's a little out of my way, but I guess it's no more out of my way than going to Costco from South Jackson, Byram area. So, because 6 one way, half dozen the other. I definitely need to get out there. I want to get out there and eat anyway. If anybody knows anybody at McLean Lodge, we could definitely. I'm looking for a restaurant or meat market to come on as a sponsor. Somebody that kind of fits what we do. If anybody knows anybody, we got room for, I would say, 2 more sponsors, and after that, we're going to cut it off for a while until we can expand to more hours, more time, actually be on the radio full time, whatever the case may be. But we got 3 sponsors now. I think we can make 2 more work. So if y'all know anybody out there in radio land or Facebook land that owns a business that's conservative leaning or not embarrassed to be associated with conservatives, let us know. We would love to do business with them. We only team up with folks who we actually would support and do business with. I don't believe in sponsoring things that you wouldn't use or don't use or wouldn't actually do in real life. Not with this platform. Not yet, anyway. If we get too big, hey, money's money, right? But right now, we don't have room for it. So we're going to stick with people that we like and want to work with. All right, so winding down here, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I know it's been a crazy week. The last 6-7 days, it's been stressful on everybody. Who's won, who lost, who's fighting, who's not. But we all got to be Americans for now. I almost turned the flag upside down for this, but I didn't have a hook on the bottom side. Anyway, we all got to be Americans for now. Let's see this through. We got 72 more days until they swear in the president, whoever it's going to be. It's I hate to keep saying it, but it's 2020. Anything can happen. But tell y'all something else. Study up on the 12th Amendment. Mm-hmm. Study up on it. I'm not telling you that it's going to work in Trump's favor. I'm just telling you that if this gets to the point of the 12th Amendment, do your own research and know what you're looking at. Don't let the media tell you what it is. Do your own research. I've dove into it pretty deep today. I was quasi-familiar with it, never really studied it much because why would you need to? But YOLO, here we are. So in closing, check out USA Pawn at USA Pawn across all social media. USAPawn.com, the largest pawn shop in Mississippi. I want to mention a special they got going here. It's their 10-10-10. Here we go. USA Pawn 10-10-10 layaway plan. 10% down, 10% per month, 10 months to pay. That excludes guns and large large items like that, but you can do it on jewelry and smaller items. That is a great deal because most layaway is 20% down, 90 days to pay it off, or you lose your funds. So check out USA Pawn. You can also make your layaway payments online. You do not have to go back into the store. If you have a loan with them, you can also make your payments online. You have to go into the store to initiate these things. You can't create the account online and buy the product online and start the layaway there. You have to go into the store at some point, but then you don't have to go back until you pick up your item or whatnot. So that's a really good deal. Check out the Gym at Byram at the Gym at Byram across all social media platforms and thegymatbyram.com. Give them a call today at 601-372-2229. 24-hour access, personal trainers, private female workout facility, world-class cardio and weightlifting equipment, tennis courts, indoor basketball, swimming pools, saunas, jacuzzis, dressing rooms, tanning beds. They got it all. They are the one call. That's all gyms and fitness areas. Speaking of that, we were at Kiefer's the other day and sat beside Richard Schwartz. Kind of random. But also, Father and a Son Southern Lawn Care. Check out Danny White, Father and Son Lawnservice.org or 601-301-3210. Locally owned and operated, all of these businesses. They support us. We support you. Y'all support them. Please follow us on all social media at SaveJXN. Please go follow us on YouTube. We're starting to get some real traction there. My parlor video got almost 4,000 views in one day. That's pretty good for a local YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. We could definitely use more of that. We got about 50 or 60 new subscribers out of it. It helps spread the word. You know, if you can't donate to anything that we do, at least share our videos. It would be great. And look, we appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed night. And we plan on making up for the shows that we missed last week, this week. Off work tomorrow. I'm going to try to do 5 shows this week. This may show number 41. So we're going to rock and roll. Peace.